The game director of Overwatch 2, Mr. Aaron Keller, is back with another developer blog talking about Mauga and the Roadhog rework and how fun BlizzCon was. Let's see what he has to say. Good evening, my name is KarQ, and let me read you this article so you guys can listen along while you're driving, podcasting, and working away, and let my voice soothe you with words of Mr. Aaron Keller. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. A little event happened 2 weeks ago, and I was lucky enough to be part of it. And all of you were too. BlizzCon isn't just for those who attend the show in person. It's also a time when we get to connect with fans around the world and show off more of the game than we normally do. And this year we ran an event, in-game with a playable version of our just announced hero, Mauga. This is partially a recap, a correction to misunderstandings around the announcements we made, and a bit of a sentimental journey. If you're not into that and just want the deets on the Mauga changes, skip to paragraph 3. Don't worry, I won't mind. Listen, Aaron, I'm not gonna skip anything. I'm reading this whole damn thing. Let's start with Clash. We announced our next new game mode as well as one of the maps, Hanaoka, which will be part of its debut. Watching through some of the videos that people made off of our introduction to the mode, it was clear I talked way too long about 2CP, but it also felt like there was some confusion over the match length. Clash is a new PvP game mode that's going to be released next year. It's kind of like, you know, how Push is a new game mode, or like, you know, Escort, Hybrid, Control, Flashpoint with the most recent one. Clash is a brand new mode. It is a 5 CP game mode, 5 capture points in a straight line. I think if you played TF2, you'd be familiar with it. I never played TF2, but when I covered this on my main channel, people were like, this is just the TF2 mode. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. In any case, Hanaoka is also what he wrote in this article, and Hanaoka is an extension of Hanamura. Looks like they're building it right beside the Hanamura map, at least in the lore, and then they showed snippets of it during BlizzCon. It looks very pretty. That's all you guys need to know. It was clear that I talked way too long about 2CP, but it also felt like there was some confusion over match length. This has been one of the most difficult parts of the mode to solve. Traditionally, 5 CP game modes have had edge cases where there was never a clear winner. Some games use a phase, like sudden death, in order to rein in the game's length. We actually don't want matches that can go this long, so we've been experimenting with the scoring system, which we alluded to at BlizzCon, as well as an alternate where the match ends after a set amount of time and the winner being decided by whoever is controlling more points on the map. We're still iterating here. That's make that clear. But our goal is to have a game mode that moves back and forth across the map and also enforces a clear time limit. During the BlizzCon announcement, they said you can win out the entire game mode by capturing all the way to the end. So the 5 CP game modes is just like each team has 2 points. Red team has 2 points, blue team has 2 points, red team has 2 points. The central one is neutral. Whoever wins the middle one pushes towards the next capture point for the other team. Normally what happens is, like, you know, red might lose it again, and now the blue team go for the last one, but red might start winning because there's probably like a spawn advantage, and they start going back and forth, back and forth. Aaron said every time you fully capture a point, you can score, and maybe a maximum score can end the game. If you full cap all 3 points all the way to the end of the straight line, you can also win that way. So as he's saying, they're still iterating, so there's no final decision on how Clash is going to work in terms of scoring just yet. Let's move on to Mauga. This hero is so cool, as Aaron says. We heard and saw so much love for his art, his over-the-top personality, and his gameplay kit. After the trial, we also heard feedback that he felt pretty weak. Our stats showed him a bit on the average to weak side, with him underperforming even more at higher skill tiers. I almost said skill trees. Too soon. We would like Mauga to feel strong at launch, so we'll be implementing a set of changes to his tuning at the start of Season 8. The goal will be to increase his survivability, make his damage against smaller targets a little bit more reliable, and reduce his damage output versus large characters like tanks. We're still a few weeks away from launch, so it's not that useful for me to go over exact numbers, but here are the changes we're looking at so far. Oh, here we go. Replacing a chunk of his health with armor. We're experimenting with 150 of it internally. Reduce the size of his head's hitbox volume. They're also going to increase the damage reduction on overrun. Originally it was 30%, we're testing at 50%. Also, this can no longer be interrupted by hack. They're also going to increase the lifesteal of cardiac overdrive, and there's quite a few changes in flight for his weapons. We're testing different spreads, firing rates when using both guns simultaneously, as well as different damage, ammo, and fall off numbers. We'll have more details on those as they solidified. Holy cow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buffs to Mauga. That's what it looks like. Damn. So the free BlizzCon weekend to play him over those 3 days was served not only to, like, you know, build on the hype and marketing of this brand new hero coming next, but it also gave them so much data to work with. There was some criticism that people who attended BlizzCon lost out because, like, they weren't home to play and try the new hero and everything. But if you did go to the event, you could have went to one of the free computers, but it's not the same as being at home. Myself included, I played Mauga one time during the computers at BlizzCon because I did attend, but like, it's not my setup. I couldn't test a lot of things, didn't have enough time, but this did serve like a greater purpose for them internally and for the community to at least play him early. So hey, the Mauga event was the first time we released a hero as a trial. We think it was successful for a lot of reasons. We got a lot of great feedback from the players, good data on the hero, and have enough time to make a serious set of changes, as well as a really fun event for the game. We think that this could be a great template moving forward, not only for heroes, but possibly for some of our other large pieces of content. Okay, Aaron now moves on to BlizzCon. During BlizzCon, we talked about our clarity of vision for the future of Overwatch. Bracket. Did you feel that downshift? Heads up, this piece is going to get a little more philosophical before it gets a little more sentimental. Okay, Aaron's speaking from his heart here. Here we go. Overwatch is an intense and competitive multiplayer shooter. We have millions of players in our game every day enjoying it, and we'd like to not just provide more of that experience to them, but also improve it. When I use the term competitive, I don't just mean playing ranked. Even quick play right now is demanding and sweaty. That intensity and fast pace are inherent to most modes in our game, and we love that. At BlizzCon, we talked about an overhaul to our competitive system coming in Season 9, that's February 2024 for those who don't know, with other updates such as wider grouping restrictions coming in subsequent seasons. We are also working on updates to improve the experience in other parts of the game. For example, we're looking at ways of reducing the number of people leaving or sabotaging matches. Since the start of Season 7, the leaver rate in quick play is down almost 20% in some game modes. We're also working on the way we backfill matches so players no longer enter a game with a few seconds left. Additionally, we're continually making improvements to our matchmaker, anti-toxicity, and anti-cheat efforts. We're also excited about running some experiments aimed at making the game more enjoyable to play. For instance, what would happen if spawn times were drastically reduced? Look for those to start in Season 8. Oh, interesting illusion here. They experimented so far in Season 7, the season we're on right now, with the group respawn. If you guys have been playing quick play, I don't know if you've noticed or paid attention to the patch notes, but this entire season in quick play, they've experimented with if you die within 5 seconds of another teammate, you actually die together. The respawn times are averaged out and you spawn together. I feel like if you don't pay attention, you may not even notice it. And that was actually a good change to kind of stop the snowballing and help people regroup. So I actually really like how Aaron and the team are trying new things to alleviate some of the pain points that a lot of players give feedback on. So spawn times being reduced is an interesting one because currently it is still 10 seconds, obviously extended to 13 seconds in overtime and whatnot. But you know what's interesting is when I watched Overwatch 2 beta gameplay like a year and a half ago when they were trying out the 5v5 mode, they actually had respawn times at 7.5 and 8 seconds. So they could look to do that again. Part of me believes that that would also make fights endless, especially in the lower tiers because target focus isn't there. There's not enough wiping potential because if you stack, like if you kill someone and you don't kill the next person fast enough, they just keep rolling in one at a time. And I don't know how that would look for the relative health of the game. But anyways, I digress. Let's continue with this article. It's almost done. At BlizzCon, our big announcements focused on the core of our game. This isn't to say that we aren't working to bring fun and novel modes and events to all of you. For example, we announced Hero Mastery Gauntlet at the show. Yeah, that's the three-player co-op mode where it's like defense tower stuff. That's coming next year if you guys haven't paid attention. And we also celebrated our K-pop event during BlizzCon. Shout out to Le Seraphim. We have so much more of this in the works, some centered around PvP, some around PvE, some both, and some that might be a little harder to categorize. We're excited for these modes and events, but didn't talk about them much. I don't want any of you to get the wrong idea here. We are still committed to events like this, but we want these to be a surprise and delight moment for our players. One of the most emotionally satisfying parts of BlizzCon is talking to fans around the world. A lot of you really love Overwatch, as well as other Blizzard games. and we all gather together in Anaheim to celebrate that passion. Talking to all of you and hearing your stories puts so much of what we do in perspective. It's easy to get lost in the details of game development or the partially anonymous feedback we get online, but listening to a story about how two people met in Overwatch, got married, and are now expecting their first child together is a different thing altogether. A mother who has never played our game flew in from Texas to bring her son to the convention. Another couple who bonded through Overwatch got engaged at BlizzCon. This show left me and so many others on the Overwatch team recharged, re-energized, and ready to dive back into the game and universe that we love. It's a little ironic, but to me, it makes total sense that a show where we felt the love of our community is also the same show that reminded me of why I make games in the first place. I'm so grateful to all of you, and I can only hope that the energy and passion that we put into our game can be enough of a thank you. Thanks for reading, and we'll see you in game. Man, can I just say, I love Aaron, man. Aaron Keller's such a great dude. So passionate about the game. A funny little story before I wrap this up is, you know, he's known to stall very long, not because he doesn't want to, but because he that's just him. You know what I mean? For example, when I saw my grand finals, like there's Blizzard people going like, hey, there's a line forming for you to meet and greet, and like he's totally cool with that. But it's not like a, you know, take a picture, sign something, and go on. He'll like talk to them for like 5-10 minutes, and it's not a bad thing. It just so happens to hold up like a line of other people who also want to like meet him as well. And he wants to be respectful of time, but he just can't help himself because he just loves talking to passionate fans. And he is actually such a great people person, a great game director, great leader so far. You know, picking up the pieces of what Overwatch was left after, you know, Bobby Kotick and Overwatch 2 PvE debacle and everything. Like he's the face of the game especially after Jeff left, right? And I think he's been doing as best as he can. It seems very genuine, and you know, I enjoy reading these. I like the transparency that him and the team have been giving. They always do these director's take every week or every other 2 weeks whenever they can to keep people informed about the games, what they're developing. BlizzCon did reveal a lot of stuff, and he also probably has a lot of stuff with the team that they're cooking. Like what did he say? Something about a Flight and Delight. There's a lot of unannounced projects and modes that they're working on and products. So I think the game is continually going in a good direction. They're reworking a lot of heroes like Sombra, Roadhog. They may miss the mark a little bit on some of the, you know, the direction, but like at least they're trying. They're working towards all the things that people have given them feedback on. A new competitive system, reworked heroes, new modes, new fun things to keep the game fresh. It's a live service game. It's been 7 years, right, of Overwatch 1 plus Overwatch 2, if not more now. Live service games always do one of these ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. Like, I mean, League of Legends, ups and downs, like Warframe, ups and downs. Destiny 2, down right now. Hopefully it goes back up. If you follow the scene, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I like this article. Hope you guys do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and see you next time.